All right, let's turn this noise down. Good afternoon. On Metal Monday, on the Morning Night Live. Wait a minute, you say it's not morning. What do you mean it's not morning? It's not morning? Yeah, I know. Some of you were here this morning, so you know it's not morning. I told you I'd be back, even though I'm later than I thought I'd be. Wow, that's kind of loud. But on Metal Monday, it's always loud. Anyway, happy Monday. I'm back from Vegas. Some of you didn't, for those of you who didn't get here this morning, I had a great time. I'll mention that. We'll see what's in the news right now, and then I'm going to get out of here. It's going to be a short one, but it is an episode, so you know. But yeah, lots of things happening. Taliban's trending. Rudy Giuliani's trending. Lindsey Graham's trending. Matt Walsh is trending. And the passports. We're going to talk about the passports because, boy, oh boy, are the Trump haters excited. And who knows? They might have a reason to be excited. But, oh, my God, talk about something that needs a 5-day rule. And some legal hot takes that are really just nuts. So, shall we begin? Let's shall. Play the intro, please. Shut this off now. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. Hey, you know what's great about this episode? Oh, by the way, stop the music. Do you know what's great about this episode compared to my last episode? You can hear me. I fixed all the mess that that YouTube, well, not YouTube, it's my computer. Every time I get a Windows update, excuse me, pardon me, or a Streamlabs update, the settings on my Streamlabs get all out of whack. So like it goes back to like a lower resolution picture, which is kind of looks like I still have. It goes back. Sometimes it sets my microphones back, and you know, it's just like I'm not muted, am I? I always have to check after a morning where it happens. No, it did it again. It set my. Oh my God, what is going on? It set my. Okay, I'm just looking at my settings again, and it's set my output again back to 1280 when I went at 1920. But you know, I'm trying to go to 1080p, and it kind of pisses me off, and I don't know why it keeps doing that. Like I can turn it back on. I'm gonna have to reset that again. Anyway, so if I look a little fuzzy, well, it's not the drinks that you've had this morning or this afternoon or whatever. Maybe it might be happy hour where you live. I don't know. Could be. Anyway, as I do, let's say hi to the chat. See who's here. My favorite Canadian, Jaeger Pony's in the house and gets the bell because he's first. Way to go, Jaeger Pony. Appreciate you, brother. Also, good morning to Simon, or good morning. I'm going to be saying morning all the time because this is when I normally do the show. It's good afternoon, but good day. Good day to you. Top of the day to you. Top of the day to Somnambule Nation. Mike Savage, Blarg, JMK. Nice to see you again. Good morning, or good afternoon. Avocados Diablo, the Devil's Advocate. Anna Lynn is here. Reacciona, Puerto Rico. One of my Hotep friends I met this weekend at HotepCon, which was awesome. We loved it. It was a great time, and it was nice meeting you and your lovely bride, my brother. Also, good morning, good afternoon to Sarah. What's up? Oh, I'm so happy to see you. I'll have to tell Lady Boomer. Lady Boomer always says, well, if you see Sarah, say hi to Sarah. And I'm like, I'll say hi to Sarah when they see her. So you're here. It's nice to have you here. Good afternoon, Tarai Deos. Rick Cashenbringer. Yes, 2 in 1 day, Rick. That's how it, I'm making up for lost episodes. And because this morning I couldn't do it. I got home, got 2 hours of sleep, went to work, got home. I'm like, I'm going to lay down. I'm going to start the show a half hour late. Slept right through the alarm. So I thought, I'll make up for it today. Plus, I'm a couple episodes behind anyway. Good afternoon, Ryan R. Trickery Debauchery. This is not the morning. This is like Monkey in the Morning. I call false advertising. Good to see you streaming Dawg Knight. Well, good to have you here, Ryan. I know it's hard for you to be there in the morning, so this is good to have you here, right? Good afternoon to Jimmy Das Hotep, also another person who was out at HotepCon, and we had a fun time. In fact, you're in my thumbnail from this morning. I don't know if you've seen that yet, Jimmy. Also, good afternoon to, who else is here? Is that it? That might be, Aaron Meredith's here, Green Badger Outdoors. Hey, good afternoon. And whoever's tends to be roaming in as you do. So let's just talk about things that are happening in the news, and then we're going to get out of here, or at least things that are trending right now. Apparently, Rudy Giuliani and Lindsey Graham are trending because they've both been called to a federal judge rejected their effort to evade testimony, and prosecutors told Rudy Giuliani that he's a target in the investigation in Georgia. Now, again, this is Joy Reid's the Readout Twitter handle putting this up here. Let me put it on the screen here. I should probably make it so you can see it. Let's try that. Okay. It is the Readout. It's Joy Reid, and so she's probably creaming herself thinking that they might be in trouble, which they might be. I don't know. I'm just going to wait and see. They asked them to go count votes, and I don't know what all their involvement is. But anyway, here's the MSNBC or MSDNC article. If I can get it to go on my screen, damn it. Work, computer, work. All right, here we go. Walls are closing in on Graham and Giuliani. The walls are closing in. Yes, you get the clown horn. In Georgia, Trump probe. Who wrote this shit? By Jahan Jones. I got to tell you, they got to be really, really choosy with their words, because the walls are closing in has been way overused and almost an embarrassment to them. Although who knows, they might find some way to prosecute Trump in the sometime down the road. I think they're going to stretch it out because they want to stretch it out to when he starts campaigning. So they're not going to do anything right away. But as soon as he just thinks, I might announce for president, then he's going to, they're going to try to prosecute. But anyway, federal judge on Monday rejected Senator Lindsey Graham's attempt to evade testifying before a special grand jury as part of a criminal investigation into Donald Trump's effort to overturn his 2020 election loss in Georgia. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis, what you talking about, Willis, requested the special grand jury back in January to assist her investigation. The panel issued the subpoena to Graham, a South Carolina Republican, last month, and he's been trying to get out of it ever since. Now, this is a writer for Joy Reid, so please understand the language, okay? Because it gives you some context as to how this will be written. He's argued his post-election telephone calls to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger reportedly about striking so-called fraudulent Reid pro-Biden votes from the official count was part of his job as a senator. For that reason, his lawyers argued he should be able to skirt the subpoena. Is that was his argument? I've got a feeling you might be embellishing a little bit. Hello, Dom O'Leary. What's up? U.S. District Judge Leigh Martin May in Atlanta strongly disagreed. The court finds that there are considerable areas of potential grand jury inquiry falling outside the speech or debate clauses protections, that May said, citing the constitutional protections for lawmakers conducting their official duties. Yeah, I don't know why that would be his official duties as a lawmaker. I could see, him trying to be a friend of the court, maybe, or I don't know, or, as a Republican official, but that's not I don't testify. Just testify. Tell them why you're there. That you believe there's fraudulent this and that, and tell them this. There's nothing illegal about that. Trying to use the legal process to determine whether or not votes were real or not. They weren't intimidated. They were using the legal process. If Donald John Trump were the authoritarian dictator that they accuse him of being, listen carefully. If Donald Trump was the authoritarian dictator they accuse him of being, he would still be president of the United States. Right? Because he would have had the military behind him and ordered a coup or an overthrow of the election, and he'd still be president. But he didn't do that. They filed, well, between him and other entities, they filed 60-some lawsuits. They tried to go through the legal process of determining whether or not there was, how can you say this in this YouTube setting? Shenanigans, right? And I made a comment on a tweet earlier today, and because I've spent a lot of time on Twitter, because somebody, what was it? Let me see if I can find it, because I might even put it on the screen. What did I say to this moron? Brian Stelter was tweeting today or yesterday, and here it is. This is stupid, because somebody wrote an article in the Atlantic about how stop the steal thing, right? Saying, I don't believe a lot of people really think that the votes weren't counted correctly in 2020. This political scientist Theta Scopel tells Elaine Godfrey, right? Okay, now first of all, think about that sentence alone. Do you think that the word stop the steal meant, I don't believe a lot of people think that the votes weren't counted correctly in 2020? Do you think that's what that meant? Anybody? Does anybody think that's what that meant? Because if you do, you are incorrect. I'm not going to say you're a moron. I'm not going to say you're an idiot. I'm not saying you're a dick. Although all of those would be a possibility. But that's absolutely not what people were saying. The people who claimed let me tell you what Brian said about this first, though. Because he's quoting this person. And so Brian quotes this person in the article in the Atlantic who says, quote, and this is not his words, but clearly he's endorsing this thought. Quote, stop the steal is a metaphor for the country being taken away from people who think they should rightfully be setting the tone. No, that's not at all what that meant. And I corrected Brian and whoever said that by saying, Brian, well, first of all, Brian, do you think it's your job to set the tone? Because I'm pretty sure the people at CNN think that is their job. It is their job to tell us how we should feel and how the things should be and how we should support these democratic bills that are so great and will slow inflation and save the whales and stop the waters from overriding Los Angeles and New York City and Obama's beautiful home on Martha's Vineyard. By the way, when Obama moves, that's when I'll start worrying about climate change. But you know but you know what else? When Obama moves and I start worrying about climate change, that's because I'm worried about more people living where I live in Minnesota, because we don't have to worry about it all that much. Because, if it really goes up, it's good for Minnesota, and we have plenty of water and all that shit, and now a bunch of people try to move here. That would be my worst worry, is that everyone want to move here. But anyway, that's not my point. He said, I do not believe a lot of people think that the votes weren't counted correctly, blah, 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 blah. Brian endorsed that. Hey, there's a problem. Because, I'll tell you what my reply. Oh, I think Scopel was wrong. And let me tell me if you think this is a little more accurate than, oh, Stop the Steal is a metaphor for the country being taken away from people who think they should rightfully be setting the tone. No, it's not about setting the tone. What it was is, I think Scopel was wrong. Most people who use the phrase Stop the Steal believe that not that there was widespread voter fraud, like the media likes to say, but very targeted voter fraud in a handful of swing states. That's what they believe. Has nothing to do. They literally thought the election was stolen through fraud in targeted manners in certain states. I'm not endorsing that thought. I'm not denying that thought. I'm just telling you what they thought. And but they're trying to make it sound like they just think that they are endowed with the power to set the tone. No, that's not it, you dipshit. So anyway, Brian Stelter endorsing that idea was stupid. But where was I going with this? I don't even remember. Anyway, Rudy and Lindsey Graham are going to have to testify in Georgia. And I just say, look, we believe there was problems with your system, and we want you to go and examine your system to see if there was anything wrong in your system. And that's what they did. They tried to go through a legal process to do that. Now, they were denied the legal process in many of those states, not even allowed to have a hearing in some, because judges denied jurisdiction, whatever, in many of them. I think they had one. You know, it's funny because when January 6th happened, there was still one pending case. And so there was a reason why they wanted to hold, just because the purpose of the January 6th stuff is they wanted them to postpone the count so that they could see if they get at least one of these cases to work. They were trying to exhaust every avenue. And once that was exhausted, what happened? We had a peaceful transfer of power on January 20th, 2021. Right? It's so funny because they're, accused Trump. He was just disrupting the peaceful transfer of power. Well, they tried to go through all the legal means possible. Now, the knuckleheads who actually got into fights, the what's the word for them? The glowies that were helping that along. Some of them did some stupid shit. That's not what they were trying to do. But they wanted. That's why they were trying to find every legal means. They scoured the Constitution, they scoured all the laws, blah, blah, blah. And they tried to figure it out. It didn't work out. And there was a peaceful transfer of power to President Sponge Brain Shit Pants. So anyway, hello, Nomad. Nice to see you. Nomad's in the house. Stop. Hammer time. Also, hi, Tyler Alexander. Richo, my friend from Down Under. And why are you so angry? And I'm not asking Richard why he's so angry. Why are you so angry as a person in the chat? So, I just think go testify and tell them why you were doing this. You're trying to exhaust every legal means to see if there's any fraud. That's what you did. That's not illegal. That's the funny thing. It's not illegal if you're trying to find legal means to do something. All right. Shall we move on? Because I see her Lady Boomer just walked in, and I want to go hang out with Lady Boomer because I miss her from when I was gone. In fact, she might come down here anyway. So, so that's it. That's that MSNBC article. The Taliban's trending right now. Did you know that? You've been on the news. Apparently, there's a celebration today. We're celebrating. I'm just a jerk. We're celebrating the 1-year anniversary since Taliban took over in Afghanistan. Look at that. What's it say? Okay, so I'm not going to play the whole thing because I might get one of those music things. I don't really care. I don't use the music things. You guys are very kind to me, and I'll be happy with that. By the way, I'm leaving out the superstar sponsor of the day because it is the same day. So Gunvox 61, you are still the Streamlabs superstar sponsor of the day. By the way, as I mentioned that, the Morning Night Live, here, let me do this properly. I'll do it with some music. How's that sound? Let me do this properly. The Morning Night Live, excuse me. The Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please hit that like button sometime during the show. And would you be so kind to share the stream before, during, and after the stream? Also, if you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section. And finally, you can sponsor the show in a monetary way. I got to make up for this weekend spending too much money at pdognight.live. 24 hours a day, I will read your messages on the show. Same with YouTube Super Chats, and there's a couple other options in the description down below. Thank you for you being a sponsor of the Morning Night Live. Thank you very much. All right, you can stop the music. Thank you so much. All right. That's my commercial. I got to keep doing, I got to make sure to do that every show. I always forget to ask you to sponsor the show. Anyway, so the Taliban is celebrating 1 year anniversary of the awesome and greatest presidential action of pulling out of a military place, something or other, zone, war, whatever you want to call it, ever in the history of America. And now the Taliban is, here's a good one. Remember when Joe Biden said Kabul would never fall to the Taliban? It's been 1 year since it fell and the Taliban retook control of the country. Now Afghan citizens are losing their rights and their lives. Also, something today that I heard, something about how they still have people left behind that are Americans back there. And I'm trying to figure out, well, what the hell's going on with that? How are they going to get them out of there? But anyway, here's Joe Biden a year ago, or what is this?
The drawdown is proceeding in a secure and orderly way, prioritizing the safety of our troops as they depart. Our military commanders advised me that once I made the decision to end the war, we needed to move swiftly.
And leave as many weapons as possible.
To conduct the main elements of the drawdown.
And leave as much equipment as possible.
And in this context, speed...
Oh, and get the military people out before we got the citizens that we needed to get out.
Speed is safety.
Oh, safety, yes. The safety of all the people who left there and the soldiers who died around the airport perimeter and...
managed our withdrawal. No one U.S. forces or any forces have been lost.
Yes, he kind of spoke too soon there. Anyway... let's see. The government spent 20 years occupying Afghanistan after invading their country, lied to us about what was really happening, spent trillions of our dollars and left in humiliation. The Taliban took back the country in a couple days, and then we stole their money. Russia is evil. What does that have to do with Russia? I don't know what that means. Anyway, just reading replies to this. Hello, Teresa the Kid. Good afternoon. And also Keebler. No, you're not late. I'm really late. You're not late at all. So anyway, let's see. Remember when Biden said the Taliban would never take over? Yeah, we already read that one. Isn't that the same speech? Oh, here. Let's see what this one was. Let's just see if you remember this. Is this the same one?
It is not.
Is a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000.
Oh, that's right. They thought the Afghan troops were
as well equipped as any army in the world, and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable. The likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
Okay,
so
highly unlikely. Okay, so hello, Maddie. What's up? So there you go. I want to say to the Taliban, I'm a girl from Afghanistan, and I will never surrender to your terrorist group as long as I have breath. I will raise my voice for the justice and freedom of my people, my country. That's a brave girl right there. I tell you that. Anyway, I'll leave these tabs up. Let me move on. What's this one? Waffen SS is trending. Now, this was from this morning. I saw this morning. Hello, Jetty the Ghost Bear. What's up? This is weird. So there's this guy, someone named Jason Stanley, who apparently was nice to some Nazis. And so he's getting dragged on Twitter. Now, I don't know who Jason Stanley is other than, let's see, what did he say? Jason Stanley's a philosophy professor. Views are my own. But he's getting dragged from all over the place. But he's a leftist, and so people are mad at him. He's a leftist professor. So here's what they're mad about. He had this little short tweet thread here. He said, I have little patience for cancel culture. Well, that's pretty rare for a leftist. He said, living in Germany in the mid-1980s, I sometimes met Nazis, young grandparents, and uncles of my friends. Almost all viewed those as great years. Yeesh. I was polite to them. We had meals together. They were neighbors. So what? You know, a racist. I have had polite dinners with former members of the Waffen-SS who served on the Eastern Front. Societies contain many elements. Now, and he says, I'm being dragged on Twitter for being nice to Nazis is a first for me. And people are criticizing. Now, I'm torn. I like it when I don't mind when leftists get dragged to Twitter, but I can kind of understand. Let's say, for example, my great grandfather was born a slave, right? And the plantation in South Carolina he was on, I'm sure there's some ancestor, relative, something of someone who from that family who's probably still alive. I'm sure I'm pretty confident they're probably somebody, right? Now, could I, as a black American, my grandfather was a slave in that plantation, if I met someone from that family, not necessarily the people who did the, committed the act of or whatever you would call it against my family. But if I met an ancestor of some of that person, could I sit down and have a polite meal with them and talk about things? Well, of course I could. Now it's a little strange because, a lot of these people who were soldiers, right? Well, Stab, you beat me to it. Most of the German soldiers, even the SS, were just normal people and not even aware of all the things that was going on. Yeah, some of them were just fighting a war. Now, I'm not sure about the Waffen-SS. They might know a little more than the normal soldiers. But in any case, I mean, look, what do you want people to do if they basically lost their country, they lost their freedom? Not even their freedom, but they did lose everything. They lost the war. They got, their thought of evil in history, which is fine. But you would think that at some point, is there a point where you're allowed to, unless you committed some major atrocities other than, fighting as part of a military force, are you ever redeemed? So, for example, we had wars with England, right? Remember those wars we had with the Crown, with George III, the whole country, the Great Britain, the Empire. Remember that Empire we used to be? Now granted, no one's alive from those days. At least if they are. If they are, I would like to do a DNA check. But is there? I certainly can go and sit down and have a meal with the English, right? So I don't know. Real quick, thank you, Ty Alexander, for sponsoring the show, and we have to have some proper super chat music. Thank you, Ty Alexander, dropping a big or small bullet in the tip jar. Who says, I wonder how history will remember Emperor Pudding Brain the Wise, his second Kamala the Whore, and Pelosi the Lich? The Lich? What's a Lich? Anyway, these people may never reap what they sow in this life. I hope they are crucified by future historians. Well, I'm going to say that is, they probably will. It depends. It depends on who wins this current This current culture thing that we got going on. I don't know. It's crazy. Oh, and thank you to Reese the Kid for dropping $1 in the via super chats with just a little smiley face guy, a smiley angel, a smiley face angel. Yes. And I think of you as a smiley face angel. Teresa, you are a wonderful person, and thank you very much. I appreciate you. And dings to both of you, and claps, and all that stuff. Thank you. All right. So anyway, but there's it's interesting. People are dragging him. We're talking, I would simply not have polite dinners with former members of the Waffen-SS who served on the Eastern Front. Okay, so they had served on the Eastern Front. So they were fighting the Russians, right? Chicken and waffles with a 100-year-old former Waffen-SS soldier. Call it chicken and waffen. Of course, after dinner, you got to shoot him. Sorry, not sorry. Wow. There's a point where you don't forgive the act, but you forgive the man. I don't know. That's a tough one. These people, but anyway, because a lot of people here, obviously, it's mostly leftists who are bitching about it, which is fine. And there's some on the right too. The world has gone insane with someone from Ukraine, a predominantly fascist nation, is arguing with someone who admitted they dined with former members of the Waffen-SS. Shouldn't they be friends? Oh, snap. That's a spicy one. Both Matt Walsh and Waffen-SS are trending. I see Twitter having a normal one today. Oh, yeah, because I'll talk about Matt Walsh in a minute. He's next. Current trends, Matt Walsh, Torah, and Waffen-SS, and the controller of this simulation is drunk. That's pretty funny. Anyway, if I sat down and had a meal with Brits, I would be eating British food because I want something they don't know called flavor. Yes, Cannibalistic Wizard. That is very good. You got some. Oh, there you go. See, the audience thinks so too. All right, what's this thing popping up on my computer? Stop doing that. Okay. Anyway, so I just found this. I would leave the thread. All these threads are going to be in the thingy down below the thing here. The description in the one tab link. By the way, every show I do, whatever I put on the screen or show you videos, articles, tweets, whatever, all end up in a single link in the description down below. Second paragraph called a one tab link. You click the link and you'll go to a page that has everything that we did listed if you want to go back and see what the hell I was talking about or whatnot. All right, let's move on. Matt Walsh is trending right now. And Matt Walsh, the producer of What Is a Woman. And boy, people really hate Matt Walsh, especially if you are a trans rights activist, or if you're a trans, you're big time on the trans side of the aisle, and they really hate his ass. So, and apparently, people are pissed because he and Libs of TikTok and some guy, Billboard Chris, who I'm going to have on my show one of these days, all have been tweeting out this Boston, I think it's Boston Children's Hospital. They put out a whole series on gender affirming care for minors. And it's pretty cringy. The reason I say it's cringy is because some of these people are talking about, that kids know before they can even talk they're trans. Well, how would they even know what that is? How would they know being a boy or a girl or whatever before they can talk? Usually if they can't talk, they don't have any idea, All they see is two people that are taking care of them, not knowing what those people even are, other than they know they can sometimes, if they're breastfeeding, then they get food from one. But it's just, you have to go to Lib's TikTok and look at this series of videos. But, and then talking about gender affirming care for younger kids, puberty blockers and all that stuff. My opinion is, and I think I'm right, this is some experimental shit they're doing on kids that they don't know what the long-term consequences are going to be. They've just made this assumption. They've gotten activists doing activist research where they don't have enough subject. They don't know, oh, you can reverse this. Well, no, they're figuring out they can't. And there's several countries who are starting to ban all this shit, right? But here we have Boston Children's Hospital out here putting out these videos about all this gender affirming care and this and trans kids and yada, yada, yada. And it's, you're going, hello, are you watching what's happening anywhere else in the world? But it's in Boston, Massachusetts, pretty liberal. It's you gotta be pro LGBTQ. But there's a lot of LGBs who are starting to question the T's and the Q's because they're kind of doing shit that they're hurting. Some people believe that they're hurting the L, the G's, and the B's because remember the L, the G, and the B is about sexuality, sex, right? The T is just about feelings. And so there's disconnect, but they've all embraced each other and whatever. So anyway, there's several people on Twitter trying to get Matt Walsh removed from Twitter, libs of TikTok. For example, this thread by Alejandra Caraballo. Twitter is just sitting on their asses while libs of TikTok, Matt Walsh, Christopher Rufo, and Billboard Chris use this platform to drive stochastic terror. Now, this is their new favorite phrase, by the way, a stochastic terrorism campaign against Boston Children's Hospital. Is going to take a provider getting killed from the neck. Now, to act. Do you think that the libs of TikTok, her name's Chaya, and they've mentioned her name over and over. Like, do you think she also might get some kind of harassment, death threats, whatever, from people who hate her? I think she's much more in danger than a giant children's hospital, right? But anyway, what do you think Chaya's followers see when she posts something like this? It's the equivalent of, won't someone rid me of this meddlesome priest? When someone acts on it, they'll inevitably distance themselves. It was just a lone wolf. Boston Children needs to be shut down. Well, if you read, I'm sorry, I hate to concur publicly because probably YouTube will ban me, but I'm telling you, you can find them on the internet. The Boston Children's Hospital. What do you call it? Videos on about their gender affirming care, and one eyebrow raised and the other eyebrow raised, the other one raised again, and it almost ripped my eyelid off because I was like, what? So anyway, but they're going after Matt Walsh, and by the way, thank you, Teresa the Kid with the deuce, who says thanks the baby Ty, prayer as well as next surgery next July. Huh? Oh, that's right. How are you doing? How are you guys doing, Teresa? I hope things are well for you. I haven't seen you in a while because I know you're going through some stuff. If they cannot tell a faithless, they cannot talk, how can they inform the person they understand that they're trans without having... Oh, well, here's what it is. One of the videos actually says that they give you indicators before they talk because they choose girls' toys or boys' toys, or they like reject wearing certain types of clothing when they can't even talk. And that's indicators that they might be trans. It's in one of and I'm like, wait a minute. If you put something in front of a baby, sometimes they may just like the color, or they can barely see things straight. It's like, what are you talking about? But anyway, so what now? The strategy with Matt Walsh in particular is they are accusing him of being a child abuser. That's their new thing there, for example, Twitter's where is it here? Apparently Matt Walsh is trending because people are calling him a child abuser. This is hilarious. I love this. So Keffels, Keffels, everyone who I think she got banned from, or whatever that is. I don't know what Keffels is. Is Keffels a male or female, man, woman, whatever? Is she trans woman or something? Whatever Keffels is, that jackass. I peeked in the trending tab, and it's mostly people calling him a child abuser, which he is. This is great because people are calling him a child abuser, and they think it's funny to call Matt Walsh a child abuser. And here's another one. Here's Keffels, that thing, whatever that Keffels is. Matt Walsh, Tim Pool, and Libs of TikTok have all blocked me despite continuing to harass my friends. Why? Because I am a trans person with a large following, and they do not want to appear weak by getting dragged by me and my community. Or you're just an annoying piece of shit. That could be too. I mean, you're the one who doxes people all the time. Dox me all you want, babe, because I'm not hard to find. I don't care. But if, just don't walk on my lawn. Anyway, and that's not a threat. That's just, I like my grass. I don't like people walking on my grass because I keep my grass pretty nice. Anyway, and my gardens are beautiful. You'd love that. You'd probably enjoy that. Anyway, and so she's just over and over. Here's another one. I'm obsessed with Race Young, known child abuser Matt Walsh. Reminder, Matt Walsh not only defends incels like Andrew Tate, but he also defends right-wing pedophiles. If you claim otherwise, I will block you. Oh no, someone's named Lovely Lena is going to block me. I've never heard of your sorry ass. Anyway, so a lot of people are just getting all over Matt Walsh, being pissed off at him. F him or F them. I don't care. And you know, the one thing I do have a, and because he has episode 1000 here in his podcast, Matt Walsh showed the trans militants must be stopped. Show the Matt Walsh episode, whatever trans. I probably should. I might actually listen to that just to see what he's saying there, because they're all up in his grits and whatnot. What pedophile did he defend? Oh, you know, I think way back when in the Catholic priest scandals, he's been supportive of the church, not necessarily of the perpetrators of violence against children. So anyway, thank you, Teresa Kidd. I sleep when the baby sleeps. He sleeps late. Sorry. No, don't. I don't have to apologize to me for anything. And thank you for the deuce. Dropping a deuce in the tip jar. That's one of my favorite phrases. Breaking. This is news that matters. The Council of Learned Transgender Scholars has issued a $9 million fatwa bounty on J.K. Rowling. That's kind of a joke, but kind of the, if you're following with what happened to Salman Rushdie, who, by the way, Salman Rushdie is out of danger right now. He's back. He's out of intensive care, and he's doing okay, is what I heard. As opposed to Anne Hedge, they're about to take her off life support. So I don't really know much about Anne Hedge except for that she dated, what's her name? The comedian talk show lady. And I'm sure you'll all tell me who that is in the chat. Hello, Infamous One. What's up? So anyway, man, he's Catholic. I kind of expect him to defend the church. Yeah, you know. No, Alexander, that was a joke. The fatwa, this is Council of Learned Transgender Scholars has issued a fatwa, a $9 million fatwa on J.K. Rowling. So no, that's a joke. Not an actual fatwa. Although they do really, I wouldn't be surprised if she incurred violence, right? Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres. Thank you, Tyre. All right, let's see. What else I got? Oh, and what did, okay. Oh, that's why I opened that one. I have two of these. I don't need two of these open. Oh, what's this? Oh no, that's not related. But anyway, yeah, someone named Eli Ellick, I first thought I was just joking when I called Matt Walsh a child abuser. Then I thought about it more. Telling parents to reject their kids is child abuse. He's not telling parents to reject their kids. Oh, you know what? I have to answer this. It's Lady Boomer. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
You done with your show?
Not yet. I'll call you when I'm done. It'll be done shortly.
I'm probably going to head up to El Laurel.
Oh, I'll catch you there.
Okay, I'm going to go
Okay. Right back. All right. So, I should have said hi for everybody, but I didn't. All right. Let's see. So let's see. Telling children they're broken is child abuse. He doesn't tell children they're broken. Publicly shaming minors is child abuse. He's not publicly shaming minors. He's shaming the adults who are not protecting minors. By the way, isn't that the Eli Eric who was advertising they bought extra pills and they're gonna send them out to people if they ask for extra like hormones and stuff like that. Basically, that's against the law. The serfs hate Matt Walsh too. Matt Walsh is completely fine defending pedophiles and child abuse if they're Christian while obsessing over trans kids' genitals. Does he obsess over trans kids' genitals? Really? That's interesting. And healthcare. He's profited off of transphobic propaganda that featured an unlicensed topless photo of a 15-year-old. A 15-year-old boy? And who put that photo out on the internet? It was like, it's not profiting off it. It was on the internet. I don't know what he means by unlicensed. I don't know. It's a documentary. It's there's probably a fair usage, even though I wouldn't have used it had I known it was a 15-year-old. Oh, Vaush has chimed in. Vaush is a great douchebag. People call Matt Walsh a monster, but he is and always will be a saint to the ape community. Wow, I don't know what that means. That means, he's replying to, what's it, dude? The creative cat, the cat guy. I would kill every ape in the world to save one human because humans are more important. This is very simple concept, folks. And someone said, would you suck every ape's dick to save one human? Okay, that's actually a funny answer, but whatever. I'll wait till the music plays for that one, Teresa, but that's funny. So anyway, that's why Matt Walsh is trending, and because what he says, the trans militants are going after Matt Walsh, and they're going after Live with TikTok, and they're going after Christopher Rufo, and they've already gotten James Lindsay knocked off of Twitter, and they're going after Billboard Chris, who I'm going to have on my show not sometime in the near future. Thank you again, Teresa the Kid, dropping a deuce in the tip jar. Lady Boomer would appreciate that I slept with. Oh, did I sleep with? Did I sleep? Oh, with baby? Is that baby? I don't know what that means. Teresa, write it out, please. I don't want to interpret this wrong. So anyway, just write it in the regular chat, and I'll that way you can help me mean. Yeah, Vadim. Yeah, that jackass. Anyway, all right. So let's get into the main topic, and then I got to get out of here because I'm going to go have margaritas with my wife because I haven't seen her for a few days. Okay, with baby. Okay, yes, and yeah, because we slept. Our baby was in our bed too for a long time. It was a lot easier than because Laura breastfed, and we just baby wake up, roll over, there you go, food. Anyway, so passports is trending. Now this is the big one because the former president of the United States, the guy with funny hair, had his home searched or raided or whatever you want to call it, because for whatever the reason the media doesn't want to call it raided, even though it was. And but apparently they took some stuff that he didn't expect, and he has said that the FBI raided his home, took his passports. He has it took 3 of his passports. 1 expired, 1 personal passport, and I'm assuming the 3rd one's diplomatic passport. But the fact that he said they took my passports has people up in arms. First of all, they think that they took his passports because they're denying him the ability to travel out of the country and flee from all his crimes that he's been convicted of. He hasn't been convicted of any yet. Hasn't been charged with any yet. So how do you get a restraining order from leaving the country if you haven't even been charged with a crime. I don't think that's legal, but that's what people are speculating. So people are all excited. Now, Tim Young has a good question. Why did the FBI need to take Trump's passports? Also, while we're here, have they found the SCOTUS leaker, the person who planted bombs on January 6th, or the reasoning behind the Vegas shooter yet? Yes, those are some investigations I'd like to hear some results on, but it's the FBI, so their sole purpose is to follow around Donald Trump for 8 and 10 years. Anyway, and then it's funny. Why does he have two passports, Chris? Because diplomats often have several passports in order to forward them for visa clearance in countries like Brazil. That you don't know this, widely known normal thing should make you pause and reconsider what else you may not know. Well, here's another reason why you might have more than one active passport. For example, if you travel internationally a lot, right? And you have to get stamps on all those spaces for stamps on your passport. If you fill a passport and there's no place to put new stamps, they will issue a second passport, and some countries require you to have all the passports that you have from all the traveling that you do because they want to know what countries you've been to. For example, certain countries in the Middle East will not allow you to travel to their country if you have a stamp from the only democracy in the Middle East, Israel. And so and also, President of the United States, they get a blue passport, which is a personal passport. They get a black passport, which is their diplomatic passport. So you might have more than one passport. And I'm pretty sure that presidents of the United States are unique in the fact that they do not turn in their diplomatic passport once they leave office. I'm pretty sure that, because just like they get a Secret Service detail too, they also, I believe, still get a diplomatic passport because of the fact that they have to travel Secret Service everywhere they go for the rest of their natural life. So that might be why Donald Trump would have two passports. But the people are out there speculating. Let's see some of the comments on this. But before I do that, thank you, Assassins of the Gray. I forgot to do music for Teresa. Well, Teresa, this music's for you too. Thank you for dropping a big 10 spot in the tip jar. And Assassin of the Gray, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much. Assassin of the Gray says, the more authoritarian they get, Mr. Knight, the more the American people will get angry. They have no idea the kind of fire they are playing with. Enjoy your time with the missus. Yes, I will. And thank you for sponsoring the show. You are a great American. Stop the music. Thank you very much. I appreciate you sponsoring the show. That's awesome. I think I'll have a margarita. I might have 2 margaritas now. Anyway, if Trump is not a flight risk, why is he whining about the FBI allegedly seizing my 3 passports? Because Donald Trump does a lot of international travel and has businesses in many parts of the world that he might have to go to once in a while. In fact, he was just won at a golf tournament not too long ago, or no, the golf tournament was here. But anyway, because he travels, he's an international businessman. Who gives a shit why he needs, why he would need his passports? Flight risk from what? He's not charged with anything. Given that, okay, so more people. Trump is claiming that the FBI stole 3 passports. He meant to say seized dude as a flight risk. Flight risk from what? Is he charged with anything? No. You don't get your travel restricted unless you're actually charged with something. He's not. So, I'm assuming that if they have his passports, they're probably just in a bunch of shit that was seized. Now, there have been there's speculation over 3 more sealed, what do they call them? Not sealed warrants or whatever that just popped up in the last like 5 or 6 hours that might be related to those passports. But that still doesn't make sense because unless you are charged with something, a judge is not, they're not going to consider you a flight risk just because you're under investigation. You know what I mean? Why would they do that? I don't think so. T-Pain, which is not the actual T-Pain, the music artist. He's an anti-Trump Twitter troll who says, deep thoughts. Trump's passports weren't listed in the items removed from Mar-a-Lago. Trump was in Bedminster when the raid took place. Did Trump relocate from Mar-a-Lago for the summer without taking his passports? Did the DOJ take his passports at Bedminster? Well, I don't know. That's for once, it's just not a dickhead asking stupid questions on the internet. That is a decent question. I'm okay with that. Let's see. If Trump is upset about his passports being confiscated, allegedly, how angry is he going to be if he's indicted? Well, who knows? We may never find out, because Occupy Democrat, flight risk. Trump accuses FBI of confiscating his passport. Blah 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 blah. 5-day rule, people. 5-day rule. Just let it play out and see what actually happens, or better yet, see if they see if they actually do anything with any of this stuff. Like I said, I personally, and as has happened for the entire past, 6-7 years now since he announced he was running for president, Trump is like Nolan Ryan in his prime, right? Throws a pitch, FBI swing and a miss. Throws a pitch, Adam Schiff swing and a miss. Throws the pitch, House Impeachment Committee swing and a miss. FBI swing and a miss. James Comey swing and a miss. Is anyone ever going to get a hit off of Nolan Ryan's fastball? Who knows? I employ the wait and see rule, but them walls have been closing in about every 6 months. A new bombshell, and I'm just not. You know what? We'll wait and see. Let's see if they come out with egg on their face again. I was going to say something a little more gross, but I'm not going to. I'm not going there. I'm not doing any of that. Those types of references. So there we go. Let's see. Now, I want to clear something up right now on this passport nonsense with President Trump. I worked for a major U.S. airline for 35 years. Internationally, people can be holding different types of passports at any one time, especially government official. Diplomatic passports, use special agency passports, personal passports, there's all kinds of them. So, but the speculation, he's like a mafia guy, has fake. Some people are like, literally were saying, I bet he has fake passports so he can travel, get out of there incognito. So anyway, Molly Jog Fast, why did the FBI take Trump's passports? Let's just see what the answers are to this nitwit, because she has the talk about Blue Anon followers. She's a queen of Blue Anon, and they all follow her. So why did they take the passports? Do they think he's likely to be charged with a crime? Because you're not a flight risk if there isn't an ongoing criminal investigation of which you are the subject, or are passports themselves evidence of a crime? Are the passports themselves evidence of a crime? I think they just grabbed some shit that was there and thought, we're going to be dickheads because we're the FBI and we like harassing, peoples with R's behind their name, and we're going to just be dickheads and take the passports to make it harder for him to move to his businesses and shit that he does around the world. So anyway, flight risk defined. Seth Abrams is a Trump hater. Trump having two unexpired. Now this is the other one. Let's look at this stupid thread, and then we're going to call it a day. Let's come on, scroll up. There we go. If Trump is accurate here, big F, this is ominous. Trump now claims FBI agents seized 3 of his passports during the Mar-a-Lago raid. So Seth Abramson decides, Trump having 2. The hell did I just do there? I don't want to do that. What happened? Oh, there it is. Trump having 2 unexpired passports and 1 expired passport isn't the issue. Government officials generally have 2 passports. What is interesting, if this news is true, is the FBI acknowledging what I've long said, which is that as a factual matter, Trump is a flight risk. The notion of someone being a flight risk is a judicial determination. And to be clear, it doesn't mean someone will necessarily flee. It means the info available on that person and their resources and their possible exposure and their personal history suggests a risk of flight. By the way, where do you think the most people who bring up this idea say he's going to, if he does take flight, where do you think they're saying he's going to take flight to? It's a one guess, easy answer. You should be able to just pop it right out of your brain right there. You know where they say he's going to flight, where he's going to go to. His friend in a certain Eastern European / Asian combo country. Guess. Anyway, he continues. I've said that I believe Trump would be willing to flee the country if he genuinely believed he was on the verge of being arrested and then detained pre-trial. There are definitely some ifs there, but this idle speculation is separate from whether he's a flight risk. He is. It's telling how little we talk about the flight risk in America, as our unwillingness to have that conversation in certain cases always advantages rich defendants, who are always nearly the most likely to flee because they have the resources and the knowledge and experience to do so. Trump's a, quote, billionaire, end quote. I like how he did that because they like to pretend he's not. He has a plane. He has properties around the world. He has passports. He has associates in organized crime. Does he? What? Who are his associates in organized crime? What are you talking about? If you knew about, here's the one thing. The people in organized crime in New York City hate Donald Trump because he is one of the few developers in New York that resisted them, and they were... they did not like him, but he had, I can't remember, I was reading about this a while back. And he had something that protected him from the mob bosses though. And so he didn't get forced to use their labor. He didn't get forced to use their contractors, and they hate him, but he had some reason that he was untouchable. And I don't know what that was, but it wasn't because that's hilarious. He has, associates in organized crime. He has allies in many countries. If in prison, he'd likely die in prison. He's a known draft dodger and a coward. He's categorically a flight risk. You know, this criminal that you can't seem to convict of anything, pretty, Mr. Abramson, weird. By the way, Seth Abramson, if you don't know, he's a New York Times bestselling author, attorney, journalist, Trump biographer. And he works for all these CNN, BBC, CBS, CBC, HBO, Washington Post. He's Mr. Establishment Media. And I've only listed a few bases for assessing him at flight risk. Others include, but aren't limited to, his history of overseas travel, yes, his history of deceitful conduct, his past contempt for the law. Where? A lack of history obeying court orders, political value, as an exile, and more. So anyone who thinks rich criminals should be treated better than anyone else, not that anyone here is saying that. I'm just speaking hypothetically here. He should definitely go around saying that Donald Trump isn't a flight risk. Every judge in America would disagree with you. All of that said, if his passports were taken, I don't believe the FBI took the current one intentionally. I expect it'll be returned. It may have been taken when his other 2 passports were seized as evidence. The expired one, or contraband. Oh, I wonder what contraband. Meaning his old U.S. government one, which is not contraband. I'm going to guess that President of the United States probably are one of the few offices in the country that get to keep them. Just like presidents of the United States can declassify documents at will. Not that that's a great idea, but they can. Why Trump would be in New Jersey for the summer without his current passport, I have no idea. Virtually nothing the man says or does is consistent with how any normal, honest person would operate. because he is. What is it? Oh my. These people. For instance, he claims evidence was planted, but watch the whole search on CCTV. Whatever. He doesn't operate like you do, Seth. That's all. He's a different type of person. Right. He does not operate the way I operate because I don't have the means to operate. If he wants to spend the summer in his home in New Jersey because it's too damn hot in Florida, why do we question that? Seriously. Boy. Take it easy, Richo. Thank you for dropping by, boy. My man. So anyway, who gives a fuck? 5-day rule is in effect for all this bullshit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to, like I said this morning, I'm going to compile a bunch of my Hotep Weekend stuff. Hotep Weekend was awesome. If you weren't here this morning, I said a little bit about it. Completely exceeded my expectations, and I had high expectations. And the speakers were awesome, meeting a lot of people that I know and through the internet, but not ever getting to see in person was fantastic. Like Jimmy Das for one, for sure, and it was great. There's people that you would recognize, Patriot J and Olivia Rondo and Sonny Johnson and Kim Clay, but and obviously Hotep Jesus and Uncle Hotep, Canon Hotep, who were the main guys, kind of pushing this movement, and I am excited for things you're going to see from that organization / movement or whatever you want to call it, and I am happy, as I said this morning, I'm happy to call myself Hotep now, because I was Hotep adjacent. I was I'm a Hotep adjacent, but nah, I'm Hotep. Hotep is a variety of people, so and you'll see more of that as it grows and prospers. So anyway, that's it for today because I got to go have some margaritas with my wife. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me this afternoon for this special edition of the Morning Night Live. If you haven't done so, click that little like button thingy and. You can share the stream before, during, after. Put a comment in the comment section if you end up watching this on replay. And you can sponsor the show 24 hours a day at pdognight.live, right up there. And or Streamlabs, that's the Streamlabs link. Or Super Chats during the show. Or Venmo, Cash App. Those are in the description down below. So that's it. I got to go. I greatly appreciate y'all being here. By the way, Damian Gershwin, I didn't say hi to you. I know you're here. And Lord Stanhope dropped by. Nice to see you again. I gotta go. My name is P. Dawg Knight. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P. Dawg Knight. And thank you for watching today on the P. Dawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P. Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.